Navigation Basics. We presume that the Earth is a perfect sphere and is the center of the universe. The Earth is rotating around a hypothetical axis N and S and is penetrated in 2 points. The upper point, N, is called the North Pole, and the lower point, S, is called the South Pole. N and S are known as the geographical poles. C is the center of the Earth, known as the core. Any plane passing through the center C is known as a great circle plane. The circumference of the great circle that is right-angled to the hypothetical axis N and S is called the equator. This divides the globe or sphere into 2 equal hemispheres, the northern hemisphere where the North Pole is located, and the southern hemisphere where the South Pole is located. The circumference of the small circle A1 with a plane parallel to the equator is called the parallel of latitude. The circumference of the great circle that includes the hypothetical axis N and S, the geographical poles, is called a meridian. Therefore, the line joining N and S is a meridian. The meridian planes intersect at the axis of the Earth. The meridian that passes through Greenwich is called the prime meridian or Greenwich meridian, and this divides the Earth into 2 hemispheres. The hemisphere lying east of the Atlantic, that includes Europe, Asia, Africa and Australia, is called the Eastern Hemisphere, and the other half lying west of the Atlantic, including North and South America, is called the Western Hemisphere. To define a location or position on the surface of the Earth, except at the poles, we use geographical coordinates. As a base and starting point for these coordinates, we rely firstly on the equator and secondly on the prime meridian. The coordinates are the geographical latitude and the geographical longitude. Taking a position L on the Earth, only 1 parallel of latitude and 1 meridian pass through this point. The geographical latitude of position L is the arc on the meridian passing from L that is included between the equator and the parallel passing through L. The latitude is defined as north, or N, if the position is in the northern hemisphere, or south, or S, if the position is in the southern hemisphere. The latitude is measured in degrees, minutes, and seconds, starting from 0 degrees at the equator up to 90 degrees north or 90 degrees south. Every degree has 60 minutes, and every minute has 60 seconds. The geographical longitude of position L is the arc measured on the equator that is included between the prime meridian and the meridian passing through L. The longitude is defined as east, E, if the position is in the eastern hemisphere, or west, W, if the position is in the western hemisphere. The longitude is measured in degrees, minutes and seconds, starting from 0 degrees at the prime meridian, going up to 180 degrees east or 180 degrees west. As with latitude, every degree has 60 minutes and every minute has 60 seconds. Here are some important navigational terms. You should know these in order to understand navigational data and minimize the risk of misunderstandings. Degrees true, T, stands for direction or bearing that is relative to true north. For example, 90 degrees true. Degrees magnetic, M, stands for direction or bearing that is relative to magnetic north. For example, 260 degrees magnetic. No correction for variation has been applied. Degrees compass, C, stands for direction or bearing that is measured by the compass. For example, 123 degrees compass. No correction for variation and deviation has been applied. Variation stands for the angular difference between magnetic north and true north. Deviation stands for the difference between a compass reading and a magnetic reading. caused by the magnetic fields on the boat. Knot stands for the unit of speed used at sea. 1 knot is 1 nautical mile per hour. You can either say that the boat's speed is 1 knot or 1 nautical mile per hour. Nautical mile stands for the unit of distance at sea. It's based on the circumference of our planet. 1 nautical mile is 1,852 meters, 6,076 feet, or 1 minute of latitude. 1 nautical mile is divided into 10 cables. 1 cable is 185 meters, 200 yards. Directions at sea, for example a landmark, are expressed in degrees. They are measured clockwise and are relative to true north.